Hello and welcome to another Premiere Perspective video. Not only are we here once again with Abdul, who's essentially the third host of the show, we're talking about today's UEFA Champions League draw that took place.
Champions! That's what I'm saying. That energy.
That took place yesterday. Um, really happy to talk to you guys about it today. Really good games that are going to be coming up. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is giving our predictions, basically what we think are going to happen throughout the games. The whole draw is set for the rest, so we could pretty much go out and say exactly how we're going to feel. I'm going to start off, and then Abdul next, and Ryan next. We're going to also provide the visual, as you see, so you can see exactly what we're going to be talking about. First, for me, the one side of the draw is going to be Madrid versus Liverpool and Porto versus Chelsea. I think Madrid is going to beat Liverpool. Um, I think that can go either way. Personally, I think that Liverpool hasn't been the best. I think Real Madrid's getting into form. Sergio Ramos back now. Benzema scoring a lot of goals. I just prefer Real Madrid in this situation. Porto versus Chelsea. Chelsea looked great under Tuchel. Porto, while they did put a good performance versus Juventus, I think they were a little bit lucky, if we're being honest. So I think Madrid and Chelsea are gonna pass on that side. And then on the other side, City versus Dortmund. As mentioned, as a City fan, I'm always gonna back my team no matter what.
Yeah, me too. I for real back them either way.
Either way, I'm not even just because of my team. Like, I actually genuinely believe that they'll beat Dortmund over two legs. And then Bayern versus PSG, which is pretty much the highlight game, I think is going to be. I think Bayern's taking that. So yeah, those are my quarterfinal picks for right now.
Yeah, I think Bayern's gonna go through as well. I differ from you a little bit on that Madrid one though. I think Liverpool's gonna go through. I think Liverpool's gonna pull it out. Even though Madrid are really strong and they have that experience. Sorry, Abdul. In Sergio Ramos and with Benzema being like really top form right now, I still think Liverpool are gonna pull through and win that game. Obviously, City, I back them to win that game, and Chelsea, I back them to beat Porto because Chelsea have yet to lose a game under Tuchel, like Javi said. So either way, really exciting. I really can't wait for that Bayern PSG matchup. Those are going to be two insane games.
Those games are all going to be great, and of course, they'll be covered on our channel.
So the winner, Javi, you can go first, but just to tell
Actually,
you guys for reference.
let's get Abdul's quarterfinals, and then we can go to the next rounds. Because you got,
Okay.
yeah, you already said your four games, right? You got Liverpool, you got City, you got Chelsea, and
Yeah.
you got Bayern.
Right.
All right, so
That's me.
Abdul, let's
Abdul, what
hear it.
about you?
So I think Madrid's obviously gonna win. I don't think
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
pretty
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident
Some sass in there.
that Madrid's gonna win. The only thing I really fear is that Madrid is going to have three important games in the span of 2 weeks, and that or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They're gonna have Liverpool's first leg, El Clasico, and Liverpool's second leg. I really hope they don't catch any injuries because that's going to be a key
Those are
factor.
three rough games. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not gonna look well if Madrid catches any injuries, especially with key players like Sergio Ramos or Benzema.
I feel like Madrid would probably focus on Champions League.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Because the league,
obviously it's
Barca looks like
Barca.
Atletico are too busy slipping it right now.
Yeah.
And Barca have been good in the
I
league,
mean, you never
honestly,
really know
so
though.
far.
At that point, maybe there's a chance that Real Madrid could go to first. Because if you think about it right now, they're only, I believe, 6 points behind Atletico. So there's
Yeah,
still a
Barca
good
are
chance
4,
of
so it's real
them.
close. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really close. The
What about the
Chelsea
other games? Yeah.
the Chelsea and Porto game, I think Chelsea is going to win. I don't think it's. I know there are a lot of people think that Porto's doing great this year, but let's be honest. The only reason that Porto really beat Juventus is because Juventus was just terrible.
They wanted it more. Yeah.
Porto clearly wanted it more.
Mm-hmm.
Juve didn't perform well enough to beat Porto. Poor defensive errors, poor just performance in general. So I think Chelsea is going to do great. I mean, they've been undefeated since Thomas Tuchel has become manager.
Crazy.
I think Mason Mount's going to be a key player.
Bro, get out of here.
um, and then
Couldn't even say it with a straight face.
So Abdul, what do you think about the other side of the draw?
S- City is gonna win. Like
Okay,
I don't think it's gonna be the easiest games. Like I don't think City's gonna completely dominate both games. I think Dortmund is gonna put up a fight.
for sure.
It might
Mhm.
be like 2-1 both legs, or like 3-1 for City both.
Mhm.
Or like 2-1 for one leg, 3-1 for other leg maybe, or 3-2. But I don't think that City's gonna dominate to the extent where Dortmund just don't look like a world class team. I mean, we've seen what they could do. We've seen that they could perform against top class teams. But I definitely think City's going to win. The Bayern and PSG game, I have a different opinion than both of you guys. I think PSG have seen how Bayern can perform. Um, I do, th- they're, I think Bayern is in favor of winning, but I still think that PSG has a chance of
Okay.
um, beating Bayern, and that's because they know how Bayern plays right now after last year's final. They and a new manager. Obviously, they have Pochettino as the
Pochettino.
Mm,
yeah. So
okay.
I think that there is a small possibility that PSG, and I'm really hoping that PSG progress to the next round.
I mean, PSG are a great team with Neymar probably going to be back by then. It,
I
it
hope so.
it could happen. I just think that Bayern's so dominant that I don't really see it happening. But two world class teams playing, it can go in either direction, especially since it's over two legs. So now semifinals. For me at this point, I have Madrid versus Chelsea and City versus Bayern. I think Madrid will take care of Chelsea, and I think City will take care of Bayern. It's look, I might come back at this video and look stupid, but I'm predicting Real Madrid versus Man City Champions League final that I think City will win. I think it's gonna be a really tough challenge.
Abdul, why you just let him rock, bro? We're just trying to get that UCL, man.
I think it's gonna be really tough for City versus who I think Bayern will be in the semifinal. But I think over two legs, Bayern has shown defensive weaknesses that I think City haven't, and I think that City could take them over two legs. So I going with City Madrid in the final, and that City's gonna win. So
It's
Ryan,
interesting,
what's
but a fair look, yeah.
your
I
semi your semifinal games? You have Liverpool versus
For
Chelsea.
me, yeah, I have yeah. So am I going or Abdul?
No,
I'll, I'll
it's
let
all
Ab-
you.
I'll let
Yeah.
Abdul get the. So I still have Liverpool, Chelsea,
Uh-huh.
City, Bayern,
Mhm.
and I think Liverpool are going to beat Chelsea. I think Liverpool are going to beat Chelsea comfortably, actually, because Liverpool,
Mhm.
that's what they're focusing on, because the league is just, they absolutely blew that this year. And City, Bayern, I think City is going to beat Bayern. Like you said, that if it's 11, damn, Abdul, he playing hardball tonight. I do think City are going to beat Bayern because I feel like Pep is a manager to know other teams so well and to be able to pick out their weaknesses. In City in the UCL, I feel like once they get to those final stages, they're not going to play around. They're going to be strong,
Mhm.
and at that time, the league is going to be either closer to being taken care of or done already, and it'll be solidified that they're first. So I think we're going to have a City Liverpool final,
Mhm.
and
And
that one
Liverpool,
could go either
man.
way. It could go either way.
Yeah.
Um, I'm
Okay.
not going to say anything about who's going to win the final, but I kind of want to. But
I think we all know
that
who
one could
you think
definitely
is
go
gonna
either
win.
way. But
Okay.
that's my thought process for the final. It's City Liverpool for me.
All right.
I think
So
I think even
Abdul,
if
yeah.
God forbid that Liverpool progresses to the next round and beats Real Madrid, I don't think Liverpool is going to make it through Chelsea.
Really?
No.
Wow.
After I saw last game between Chelsea and Liverpool, I still think that Chelsea would make it through Liverpool. Um,
I feel like we say that and we think about all these circumstances, but Champions League is a different ball game when it comes for Liverpool. The season that Liverpool knocked out City were clear of them that year. They were a far better
Hmm.
team performing in the Premier League. They
It's a different focus. It's
Yeah,
completely different.
and they
Yeah.
made City look really bad in the Champions League. So it really I never know which direction it is. Obviously, these are just our opinions and predictions,
I, s-
but
I, I still predict
Yeah.
that Madrid's gonna make it. They're gonna play Chelsea. Madrid's gonna make it to the final, and
Okay.
then
City versus PSG on the other side. You got.
City versus PSG. I
Hmm.
think City might win that
Okay.
because I feel like Pep Guardiola, like again, he's a great manager. Lots of experience. A tactical genius. Um,
Hmm.
Personally, I think he's the best manager.
Okay.
For sure, no doubt.
So in a City Madrid final, who's winning?
In a City Madrid
City's winning
final,
that final.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with both of you,
Okay.
and that's because solely for like one reason. We saw how
The
in the
Dane.
we saw in I believe the 2018 UEFA Champions League final how we went up against a really strong Liverpool team. Liverpool were just developing as a team in general. I think that season
Isn't that
City
the one that Karius like threw the two of them into his own goal?
still a great team.
I
I think I
Got him.
I still do, Liverpool was still a great team at that point, and I think they were competing with City for the league. And if it wasn't for that one point, I believe, I think Liverpool would have won the league that year. Um, but
No, Liverpool were
though.
rough.
Like
Zidane,
even
Abdul,
though like it was
did
close,
we
City
watch the
were
same
City
games?
were no. Even though it was pretty tight in terms of points wise, I thought it was pretty clear that City were the better team that year.
They were the way they just
Yeah, I
kept
mean,
winning
and
those games. They had a
Liverpool,
rough start,
I
but
mean, everyone will always talk about Salah getting injured and Ramos injuring him. That's always going to be a thing. That's what people are saying now in this quarterfinal is going to be like Salah revenge game. I mean, we've seen
I
how amazing Salah is. So
yeah,
I'm
Salah's disgusting, bro.
I'm picking Madrid to be Liverpool, but if
I think
Salah puts a masterclass, I could see Liverpool being Madrid. Two
no,
legs, like we said, all this you never know.
no. I think
But yeah, so
Ramos will have Salah in his pocket the whole entire time.
Oh my
oh,
God, in his
that's a
pocket, Mo
bold
Salah. That's
statement.
bold.
That is a
We talking
bold
about Mo Salah.
statement.
I don't care if you're
Madrid,
Jesus Christ. Mo Salah is not in your pocket.
Madrid
Like
is winning the Champions League if they make it to the final.
they got to get there first, though.
I'm saying
Yeah.
if they get there, if they're lucky enough to get there,
Even against a
Madrid,
Bayern or a City.
We know Madrid is a final team.
Mhm.
How
So
many finals has Madrid lost with Zinedine Zidane?
I think zero, right?
Zero.
Okay.
Probably, yeah.
Madrid
You
knows
got a
how to
point.
But
win
You
think
got a
about
finals.
point.
it. Think about this. In the finals that they in their 3 Champions League finals, the 1 year was against Liverpool. No, two. No,
No,
wait. What was
Atletico,
it? Atletico,
Liverpool. Uh,
Liverpool.
Wait,
What
sorry,
was the other one? Hold up.
Atletico, Juve, Liverpool.
Yeah. So
Mm.
think about all those teams that you just mentioned right now. Are any of them close to the level that City or Bayern are at right now?
Yeah, City and Bayern are high up, man. Both of
Like
them.
if you compare those teams to City's team right now and how they play this year, and this Bayern team that just won last year and has been great this year, like I feel like it's not a guarantee. I wouldn't say it's a guarantee that they would win. I mean, these teams are amazing, but either way, these are all just our predictions.
Speculation.
Absolutely.
We'll see how it goes, how we do in
I'm really excited for this year,
yeah,
for this one.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a very interesting knockout stage, and I think PSG versus Bayern is going to be
mhm,
out of all these games the most interesting, because we've seen how these two teams have been performing in the Champions League, and
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
it's gonna be one
They're
to
gonna be
watch.
great games. We're gonna be back in terms of Champions League coverage. We'll be back in April when these games take place. In terms of normal coverage, we'll be back with a new video on Monday
Monday.
on the FA Cup games that are taking place over the weekend. So make sure to check that out when it comes out.
City quadruple is still on.
City
Just letting you
quadruple
guys
is
know.
still possible,
What I'm
still
saying.
in the air. Hopefully, this is the year. But yeah, so once again, we want to say thank you to Abdul for always coming on our show and being a third voice to reason and balance out the cityness that is in between me and Ryan. So yeah, once again, thank you for the support. We're at 82 subscribers right now, which is great. Far above the expectations that I had because I had very little when starting this. But yeah, so once again, I want to say thank you to anyone who's shown support, and we'll be back soon.